Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to a report by the Canadian Press, shareholders of Boralex Inc. have overwhelmingly voted to approve a previously announced acquisition agreement. The renewable power producer revealed that the arrangement resolution received approval from 99.86% of the votes cast during the shareholder meeting. First announced in March, the deal will see two Canadian institutional giants, Brookfield Asset Management Limited and La Caisse de dépôt et placement du Québec, acquire the Quebec-based company. The transaction is valued at 9 billion Canadian dollars, including debt representing an equity value of approximately $3.8 billion. Boralex Chief Executive Officer Patrick DeCostra stated that the acquisition will provide the renewable energy firm with significantly greater financial flexibility to support its future growth. While shareholder approval marks a major milestone, the completion of the transaction remains subject to several closing conditions. These include obtaining a final order from the Superior Court of Quebec as well as necessary regulatory approvals. The acquisition is currently expected to be finalized in the fourth quarter of 2026. According to CTV News, Vancouver International Airport, YVR, is rolling out advanced technology to streamline passenger flow ahead of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Airport officials have expanded the use of biometric boarding with 42 biometric-enabled e-gates, which are expected to speed up boarding times by approximately 13%. Additionally, YVR has introduced state-of-the-art CT screening technology at security checkpoints, allowing travelers to keep liquids and large electronic devices inside their bags. These upgrades are part of a multi-year effort to prepare for a major influx of visitors. During the tournament, the airport expects to welcome 2.7 million passengers, averaging about 88,000 travelers per day, a 5 to 10% increase compared to last year. To ensure safety and efficiency, the airport has doubled its on-the-ground security presence, and the Canada Border Services Agency is shifting resources to meet the demand. YVR will also feature FIFA-themed installations and photo opportunities to enhance the passenger experience and celebrate the tournament spirit. According to CTV News, a new report from Toronto City staff warns that the proposed expansion of Billy Bishop Toronto City Airport could have major adverse effects on the waterfront area. The report reveals that up to 94,000 planned residential units in the downtown waterfront, Portlands, and South Etobicoke could be impacted by the new flight paths. This could result in height restrictions on future buildings and a 25% increase in the number of residents living under flight procedures, leading to issues with noise, reduced air quality, and lower property values. Despite these warnings, Ontario Premier Doug Ford is pushing forward with the expansion plans, estimating over $5 billion in investment and the creation of thousands of jobs. However, both city staff and Toronto Mayor Olivia Chow emphasized that a definitive assessment is currently impossible due to a lack of a clear blueprint or business plan from the province or the Toronto Port Authority. Mayor Chow also raised concerns about transferring land to benefit foreign Wall Street investors, as the airport terminal is managed by a firm controlled by J.P. Morgan Asset Management. According to a report by the Canadian Press, Aecon Grouping has signed a collaboration agreement to support infrastructure development in northern Manitoba. Under a memorandum of understanding, the construction giant will partner with Arctic Gateway Group, an Indigenous and community-owned business, to develop the port of Churchill and the Hudson Bay Railway. The partnership will combine Aecon's expertise in construction and infrastructure with Arctic Gateway's leadership in Indigenous and economic development in the region. Arctic Gateway Group is owned by a coalition of 29 First Nations and 12 remote northern Manitoba communities. Notably, the the Port of Churchill is Canada's only deepwater northern seaport that offers direct access to the Atlantic Ocean and connects to the Continental Rail network. Additionally, the report noted that Aecon recently reported a first-quarter loss of $17.9 million, showing an improvement from the $37.9 million loss recorded during the same period in the previous year. According to a report by the Canadian press, Calgary-based Trans Mountain Corp announced that oil shipments through its pipeline reached 83% of capacity in the first quarter of 2026, averaging approximately 737,000 barrels of crude oil per day. The corporation expects shipments to rise to 90% of capacity in the second quarter. Although Q1 volume was down slightly from the 757,000 barrels per day recorded in the same period last year due to temporary market factors and third-party maintenance, the company remains on track to meet its annual financial commitments. Trans Mountain reported adjusted earnings of $552 million for the quarter and paid $448 million to its owner, the Canadian government. Since the pipeline expansion was completed in 2024, the operation has returned $2.2 billion in cash to Ottawa. Looking forward, Chief Executive Mark Maki stated that planning is underway to further boost the pipeline's capacity by another 300,000 barrels per day, with the first phase of the expansion anticipated to enter service in early 2027. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.